She see money all around me. I look like I'm the man. Yeah, but I was down and out like last week. Tell me, where have you been? You came out of hiding, girl. Don't act like I'm your man. You just a fan. You don't hold rank.
Hey guys, and welcome to this video. This is going to be a makeup tutorial on this look right here. I am so obsessed with how it came out. Like, literally, I just want to wear this every day for the rest of my life. I'm so surprised actually at like how well this turned out. I sat down and I was like, girl, we're gonna do this. We are going to commit and it's gonna be bomb, and I love it. So it was actually inspired. I was going through my pictures and I saw a picture that I had screenshotted a while ago on Instagram. It was Instagrammed by Makeup Geek, but it was a repost of somebody else. Let me pull it up really quick. It's not exactly the same, but it was just very heavily inspired, and then I kind of went off of that. I was so scared to do this like white line. You'll see in the video, like I was like preparing myself because I was like, what if I just ruined this whole look? It was intense. So this is the original look that I'm going off of, and it was posted by Ashley Hall Makeup. This is kind of my take on it, and again, I'm so obsessed with it. So if you guys like it, definitely hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button and keep on watching to see how you can get it too.
Okay, so to get started, I'm going to show you the picture that I was basing this off of. Obviously my look does not end up looking like that, but it was just heavily inspired by that look. So I'm going to be starting off with some Scotch tape and putting that on the corner of my eyes, from like the end of my eye to my eyebrow, or where my eyebrows are supposed to end. And then I'm going to be taking this Nars eyeshadow base, and this is just going to help to keep my eyeshadows from creasing. And so I'm just going to put it on and then rub it in. And then I always like to set my eyeshadow primers and bases with a little bit of powder. That way when you put eyeshadow on top of it, it won't catch in certain places and look patchy. So I'm going to go in with my Mercier translucent powder and just pat that right on top of the eyeshadow base, just to set it for all the shadows that I'm going to be using. So once I have that done, I'm going to go on to my eyebrows, and I talked about this in my April favorites video. This has been my favorite brow pomade since I discovered it. It's literally a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, but it's half the price. So this is the Makeup Revolution brow pomade, and I'm just going to be taking it a little bit under my eye. So basically like outlining the bottom part of my eyebrow, then outlining the top of my eyebrow, and then going in and filling in the middle. So that's how I like to do my brows. I'm going to take this Sonia Kashuk concealer and just run that along the bottom of my brow, right under where we made that line, and then on the top of my brows. And this is just going to kind of clean up the pomade and sharpen up my brows. I really like doing this when I'm doing a dramatic look. And as always, I'm going to set it with my e.l.f. Eyebrow Kit. This is in dark, and I just use that powder to set the pomade. Then I go in with the e.l.f. Eyebrow Mascara Duo. I'm just going to take that and run it along my brows. Moving on to the eyeshadow, I'm going to take this Makeup Geek eyeshadow. I think this is the color Cocoa Bear. I'm not positive. I'll put all of the names down below in the description box, so you'll have all the products I'm using, all of the eyeshadow names and everything, because some of them are single eyeshadows, and I'm not sure off the top of my head the names of them. So I'm just putting this into my crease very messily, just kind of placing it in there because we're going to be putting shadows on top of this, so you just want to make sure it's very spread out. So then I'm going to take this Morphe single eyeshadow, and I've had this for so long, and again I'll put that in the bottom bar because I know all their shadows are numbered and I can't remember the number of this one off the top of my head. So I'm just putting that a little bit lower into my crease. Then I'm going to take this color Claudia. It's like a blue-black color. This is from the ABH and Makeup by Mario palette. And so I'm just putting that right into the crease. So basically I started off with the lighter color, and as I'm going darker, I'm kind of putting it more and more centered into the crease, if that makes any sense, and then blending it out. So, and I'm also going from super fluffy brushes to more tapered brushes, if that makes sense. So hopefully you know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna keep going in and just running the color in, and then going back and blending it out. So a lot of blending is going to be necessary with this look. It's gonna take a lot of time, but just be patient and blend it out, and everything will work out in the end. I promise you, just be patient. So setting the color, blending it out. If I blend it out too much, I'll put a little bit more color in. So you just want to keep on doing that process until you have the desired kind of color, like have it blended out as much as you want, but still have the enough color payoff that you want as well. So then I'm going to take the Sonia Kashuk concealer that we use on our eyebrows, and I'm going to take that onto the lid of my eye. So I'm going to use this to kind of create a cut crease. And so this is one of the very first times I've used this method. I'm not very good at cut creases, so I was proud of myself for how it came out. It's obviously not perfect, but it is what it is. And I'm going to go in with this pink shimmery eyeshadow on top of the concealer. I'm going to wet my brush also first and just put that right on top of the concealer. This eyeshadow isn't super important. This is just kind of going to be a base for the glitter. I just didn't want to put the glitter right on top of a concealer, so I just used this as kind of a base color for the glitter. So I'm going back in with that dark brown color and just kind of defining that crease again, then going in with that blue black from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette called Claudia, and I'm going to work this into the outer corner of my eye and about a third of the way into the outer crease, I guess, so kind of in that like V shape. I didn't think that that black was black enough, so I went into this Wet n Wild Greed palette and just took that matte black color. I don't think you can get this palette anymore, but any matte black color will do. And I also know Wet n Wild, I'm pretty sure, does sell this matte black in a single palette, so you don't need to have the whole palette. And also, I'm so sorry if I'm stuffy and you guys can hear like my nose sniffling. I apologize, but I'm so sick right now. But yeah, so I'm just darkening up that outer V so you can kind of see it getting darker and more vampy. So just start off little, use a little bit of color at a time, blend it out, and you can always go back and put more color in, but you cannot take it out. So now I'm just going to take that pink shadow and put it where the pink and the black meet to kind of help blend it out and not make it look so harsh. Now I'm going to take this Stila Magnificent Metal eyeshadow slash glitter. I don't really know. It's like a glittery eyeshadow, but it's like a completely different type of texture than I've ever used before. But I really, really like it. It's super metallic and just super glittery. It's so pretty. I really think it's an awesome glitter slash metallic eye looking thing. I don't even know what to call it, but it's really cool. So I put that on, and then I went in and I was working on my crease and outer corner again. Now I'm gonna go out and take that tape off the corner of my eyes, and you'll see that very sharp line. That's why I put the tape there, so we didn't have to kind of clean it up at the end. Then I'm gonna go back in and give it one last blend out, and then add a little bit of black in that right outer corner. Then I'm going to take this NYX Matte Black Liner and just do a really thin line. I didn't want the liner to kind of overtake the look. I kind of just did this to help blend in the lashes that we're going to be using, but I didn't do like any super dramatic wing or anything like that. Then I'm going to take the white version of that eyeliner, and you can see me like preparing myself. I was so scared that this was gonna mess up the whole look, and I just spent all that time for nothing, but I decided to go through with it, and I just took a deep breath and went with it, and I really love how it turned out. So basically I'm just making a line in my upper crease from where the glitter stops to the end of my eye. Then I took a brush and I ended up just kind of cleaning it up a little bit with that brush. Then I'm going to take this Ardell twin pack. I think they're 120 lashes, and I put those on. Then I'm going to move on to the face. I'm using the Becca Poreless primer, and I like to pat this in because it really helps to mattify my skin, and I feel when I pat it in, it also helps to blur out my pores a lot better than if you kind of swipe it on. So I'm just patting that into my skin. Then I'm taking the MAC Studio Fix Fluid and Born This Way from Too Faced foundations, mixing them together and putting those both on my face. So here I'm just kind of blending it onto my face using that Eco Tool sponge that I also talked about in my favorites video. This has literally overtaken all the other sponges or any other kind of makeup brush that I've used for foundation. Then I'm going to take my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I'm going to put that in a triangular shape under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, in the middle of my forehead, and then on my chin as well, just to do a little bit of highlighting. Then I'm going to take the flat side of that blender from Eco Tools, and I'm just going to blend out all of that concealer. And you'll see there I did a lot of highlighting. I'm going to go back in with that Mercier translucent powder that we used earlier to set our eyes, the eyeshadow base, and I'm going to set my concealer with that. So I'm just going to do a little bit of baking here and just put it everywhere you put that concealer, under the eyes, down the nose, on the forehead, and the chin. And then I'm going to take my MAC Studio Fix powder and just kind of dust that on the areas that we didn't bake. And then also I'm going to take what's left over and just dust off that excess powder that is left over from baking. And so this is just going to make our face super set. And then I'm going to take the butter bronzer from Physicians Formula, and this is in just bronzer, and I'm just going to use that to bronze up my face and give me a little bit more color back in from all of that highlighting. Then I'm going to take this NYX eyeliner. This is one of their faux dark, or I think it's called faux black eyeliners. It's just a nice deep burgundy red type of color. It was a little too red, so I mixed in a little bit of that brown to kind of give it a more sultry look that I was going for. Then I'm gonna take that brown color from the ABH Makeup Bar Mario palette and blend out that liner, and then take another shadow and help blend it out even further. Again, all the shadows names will be in the description box because I don't know them all off the top of my head. So I'm just blending out that lower lash line, really smoking it out. Then I decided to add 3 little white dots with the liquid liner on the outer half of my eye, like from the bottom going up. So I really like this added touch. I think it made it look super cool, and I really loved how this turned out in the end with the white liner at line at the top and then the 3 dots on the bottom. Then I'm gonna go in and put some mascara on my bottom lashes, and then take the Shade and Light palette and use one of those contour colors and just contour my face. So contouring my cheekbones, and then the temples of on my temples, and then also under my jaw, on my jawline. And so this is just gonna kind of help to sculpt out your face. So I'm going to take this NYX terracotta blush and just kind of run that on my cheeks to give me a little bit of color again. And I felt like this wasn't giving me as much color as I was wanting from this look. So I went in with a Tarte blush on top of that just to give it a little bit more color. And I think the combination of the two was really giving me what I was looking for. So after I struck a little bit of a pose, I just got super excited to have how this look really was turning out, and so I'm just absolutely in love with it. So I'm going to set my face with a finishing spray from Scandinavia. Then I'm going to go in with my highlighter on top of that, and this is the shade Glow Getter from the ABH and Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit, and I'm just going to put that along the kind of in a C area around my eyes and on top of my cheekbones, as well as down the center of my face. And so I like to put it on top of the finishing spray because I feel like it helps to make it a little bit more vibrant, even though these shades are amazing on their own. Then I'm gonna go in with a clean stippling brush and just kind of blend everything together. So it's just gonna blend out that highlighter and have it blend in with the blush and everything, so everything looks really cohesive. Then moving on to lips, I'm gonna take this NYX liner and just use that to line the outer outer part of my lips and then fill it in a little bit. And then I forgot to show you my lipstick, but I'm just taking the MAC lipstick in Cherish, and it's just a really nice nude lipstick. I love the way that it pairs with that NYX lip liner. And then I'm going to finish that off with a little bit of Bellini from Revlon on top as a lip gloss, just to give it a little bit of a shine. And that is the final look. So hopefully you guys like it. I absolutely love it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.
So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, I hope you guys liked it. It took so long, but patience does win out in the end, and so I'm just so obsessed with it. I really need to like take my time with more looks when I go out and stuff, but I'm usually like rushing through my makeup and I just do like a simple eye. So I am super proud of my skills in this video, and hopefully you guys like it too. So again, give it a thumbs up and definitely subscribe. Let me know what other makeup looks you guys want to see or any other videos you want to see, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
But I'll keep your number safe, cause I hope one day you'll get the sense to call me. I'm hoping that you'll say you're missing me the way I'm missing you.